Oh man. Okay. Howdy, howdy. I'm back. Yay. It's a new day today. Uh, I did about 3 episodes the other day, because I had so much free time. Um, I only got two of them uploaded, and then I uploaded the third one earlier today, despite recording it yesterday. Um, but regardless, we're just gonna pick this back up. Trying to remember where we left off. Oh right, we did these teleporter things. Basically just entrance, exit from maze and whatnot. And I went out of my way to go ahead and get some sounds, because I know you guys didn't, probably wouldn't want to watch me just make sounds. Or I didn't make sounds. I mean, just go and get sounds, because digging through toolbox just kind of drags on. It just goes on and on and on. So I figured I'd just do this off camera. I only really grabbed three sounds. I have a teleport sound. Some of you probably know where that's from, but I couldn't really find any good ones, so I'm just using whatever I can find for now. Uh, this sound, obvious, and then this one. Not really sure if you can hear that, and I'm not really sure if I'm going to use these either. Well, I'm going to use the first two, but I don't know about the third one. I'm still a little sick, but I'm coughing definitely a lot less, so sorry for the mutes once again. Um, Now I think today I'm going to rewrite how you pick up pellets and change it from server-sided detection to local detection. That way I can instill a little bit of an anti-cheat, just a tad bit, making it somewhat harder for people to cheat this. Because if you don't know, there's an exploit with something called Synapse, which is a cheat that scripters can use, called Fire Touch Interest, which basically means that even if they don't touch these, they can make the game think they touched them, and we don't want them to do that, at least without some kind of protection. And on top of that, we're going to turn into a local detection, so that way we can put all these nice little effects on it, if that makes any sense. Make it look nice, make it look good. So that's what our focus is going to be today, just making these look good, basically. Nothing too special. Also, sorry if you hear everybody in the background. There are people awake. I usually try doing this when everybody's asleep, but oh well. If someone barges in my room, I'll do my best to mute or stop the recording before they, really do anything, but no promises. All right. Now we're just gonna start this off with something basic. Uh, First thing we want to do, we want to make a way for you to pick up pellets in a different manner. We do need a server-side way to pick up pellets, but that's something else. We're going to make a remote in here. We're going to say folder remotes. Nope, don't do that. And we're going to put a remote event in here. Now, if you don't know what a remote event is, it's basically just a way for the client to communicate to the server, if that makes any sense. I can pass through arguments, such as things to do. So it's basically just communication. We're going to say collect pellet. All right, that should do it. Now we're going to go open our pellet manager. Now we need to find, now we're actually going to turn this off here. Actually, we don't have to do that there yet. We're going to leave that there for now. But first, we're going to do it here. We don't have to have any of this. We're going to keep this part, but we're not going to keep, no, actually, we're going to keep this two part because we're going to keep that part because we don't want people using that other cheat either to bring pellets to them. So we're going to have this here. We're going to comment all this out. So none of this is going to run. It's just hit this for now. We'll come back to this later. But we're going to turn this whole thing into a function real quick. So we're going to say, we're going to define this real quick. Uh, Local remotes equals game replicated storage remotes. And then we're going to say remotes. Let's move this down a little bit. Make some room. All right, remotes dot collect pellet dot on server event. So basically, when we receive a message from a server, we're going to say connect function, and in that function, we're going to have the player, which is who sent the request, and then we're going to have the pellet that they want to collect, and then we're going to end that. Now, just for now, we're just going to say pellet destroy, just so we can actually test this. And we're going to make a local script real quick, just to test this. Starter pack, local script. Nothing too special, just while true do wait one game workspace pellet or wait for child, which basically means we're waiting for this to load. Pellets dot pellet. Copy that. Game replicate storage. Oof. Replicated storage dot remotes. Collect pellet. Fire server. Now this is how we communicate. We're firing that remote. So this is how you fire it, and then the pellet manager receives that event. So fire server and then on server. So basically firing and a catching. Think of it like throwing a baseball at somebody with a little catcher's mitt. The local script would be me throwing the baseball, while the server script would be catching that baseball. You know what I mean? And then let's say I write things on that baseball for the server to do. So I take the baseball with all this stuff written on it, I throw it, they catch it, they go, this is what we have to do. Because they read that baseball. That's basically the gist of it. So we don't have to provide player because the first argument, player, is done by default. Roblox manages that. It's always there. So all we have to do is provide the pellet, which we're just going to say the first pellet in here, the first one. And it's just going to repeatedly do that. So we're going to play here, and it should just start removing pellets. It's not going to give us any because it's not working yet. Yep, I'm seeing them get removed, so it is working. Alright, let's change that. For my sake, I'm going to put this in a GUI just so I can do this. Now, there's a couple perks to putting this in a GUI. You could do this in Starter Player. Actually, I might. I'm going to put this in Starter Player. Because if you put it in the starter pack, then the script is going to reset every time that player dies. We don't want that in case the player resets a lot for whatever reason. It's much easier just to have it load whenever they join the game like this. So we're going to say local pellet manager. Perfect. Now in here, we're basically going to take what happened here, like so. We're going to take this part that we had earlier, like this. We're going to say, oh wait, we actually need a list here, my bad. Take that. Copy that whole thing, screw it. Alright, copy that. We're going to say wait for child pellets. Oof. Oh man. Alright. Wait for child pellets. And now we're going to want this back. Now you can't call this from a local, oops, we can't call this from a local perspective, so we're going to get rid of that. But everything else should work. We're going to remove this for now. Actually, we're going to take that pellet bit we're going to take this bit here, the giving them a pellet, and their leader stats, and we're going to move that to the pellet manager, this thing. There we go. So whatever you collect a pellet gives you a pellet. Now we're not going to destroy the pellet. We're going to make it invisible, because it's up to the server to destroy the pellet. but it is going to make it look less choppy because if you notice, if you look back on the playthrough, you'll notice that whenever I pick up a pellet, there's a little bit of a tiny delay before it actually deletes it, which is a little bit annoying. Uh, that kind of slow response when picking up pellets, it kind of does just kind of drag the game on. It kind of makes it feel less responsive. So we're doing this whole local thing so that way it disappears immediately, you know? So now we're going to, hmm, let's say game. Actually, we already have that whole thing specified. We're basically just gonna define remotes again. Remotes, collect pellet, fire server, pellet. Alright, fire server pellet. Trying to think if that's all. That should work for now. We're not going to do the refreshing just yet. We have to make sure that this thing actually works to begin with. Now if we touch this, it should immediately disappear and we get pellets. So if you notice, it doesn't just kind of clip through my torso anymore. It does disappear immediately, which is good. That's kind of what we want. Looks good. And if we open server, these should be actually destroyed and not just transparent. Yeah. See, they're all gone, which is good. That means we're doing good. Now what we have to do is, this only applies to currently existing pellets though. So now we need to make something that does it whenever a new pellet is added. So when the pellets refresh, we need to put something that allows them to, be detectable after refreshing. So we're going to do that real quick. And we're going to do that by detecting when new pellets are added. Like so. We're going to say pellets, child added, connects function, part. Now what basically this does is we're detecting, just like with child removed, if you remembered earlier, we're detecting when something is added to the pellets list. And if you remember, the server script will automatically replace all the pellets when we run out, and it just puts them all in the file. So every time a new pellet is added back, it's going to fire this function, everything that's inside of here. And inside of here, we're going to actually call that pellet. We're going to call that, put that there. So now every new pellet should also be detected as such. Now we actually have to go back here and remove this whole bit. Remember, we removed that. So I'm going to keep this here for now, but for here we're just going to remove it. Okay, so we're going to, now let's give it a little bit of sounds. I don't know about you, but I could go for some sounds. Let's put a pellet in here. There we go, perfect. Pellet SFX. And we're going to say script pellet SFX play every time you pick up a pellet. I'm not hearing anything. I'm not sure if it plays if it's in your player scripts. That might be an issue. Hmm. Oh, oops. I'm sorry. I only did it to the refreshing pellets. Let me do it to all of them. My bad. Oof. Apologies. Oh, that's a little bit of an issue. notice, you probably hear it, but every time the pellet sound goes off, it's slightly cutting off the last one. And so I have an idea. We're gonna have two pellet as sounds. We're gonna have two of them, and we're gonna have it alternate so it doesn't cut each other off as much. Because the thing is with this is what's happening is, let's say I have this looping. Uh, Basically, it's doing that, where it starts a new one before it reaches the end, so it kind of cuts it off. We don't want that, so we're gonna have two of them so they can play separately, basically, at one after another. So we're gonna say local alternate equals 1. Now this is unnecessary for me to do, but outside of just me being, outside of it just being a pet peeve. So let's see, script pellet sfx, and then we're going to say dot dot alternate. So pellet sfx 1, for example. And then right here, we're going to put just a little script here. We're going to say if alternate is equal to 1, then alternate equals 2, else alternate equals 1. Now this basically is just going to flip it back and forth between 1 and 2. So whenever you pick up a pellet, if alternate's equal to 1, it sets it to 2. If it's equal to 2, then it sets it back to 1. And so it's just going to go back and forth, back and forth. So it should use both of the sounds, like 1, 2, 1, 2. Kind of like back and forth playing them, rather than just the same one over and over. It should, in theory. So far, so good. So I'm getting a little carried away here. But now that I'm almost done, now's a good time to actually test the refresh, see if that works with this as well. Yep, perfect. Now I'm going to turn that sound down because I know some of you are probably already sick of hearing it. I'm going to turn it down just a notch. But it is pretty nice so far. I'm trying to think about what else we could do. Oof. We could give some kind of UI effect, basically just saying +1 or something. I don't know. I'm not entirely sure about what we should do. Uh, I think that's probably fine for now. I think what we should do is make some more dropper related things. I don't know. Oh yeah, we should make a collector at least. Oh, let me put the teleporter sound in. I forgot to do that. I do want to make this a local sound, so that's actually what I'm going to do. I'm going to make this a local sound. I'm going to put the sound in here too. Actually, I'm gonna make a separate script for here, just for convenience. Local teleporter handler. And it's just gotta be for sounds, nothing too special. Now, teleport. I like that sound a lot. Wow. Alright. Local teleport handler. We're gonna make another remote. Uh, play or teleport EFX. Or just SFX, because that's sound. Now what this is gonna do, actually, before we do anything, I'm gonna put a wait for child remotes right here on the local scripts, just for my sake. Alright, let's go ahead and get rid of all this for the teleport handler. We're gonna say remotes teleport SFX on client event. Now this is basically the opposite of on server events, where instead of us sending information to the server is not going to send information to us. That way we can play a local sound for the teleport. And we don't really need anything for it. We can just say function. We don't need anything. And we're just going to say script teleport. Wait, nah, it's fine. Teleport SFX play. Nothing too special. This is pretty easy. Basically, just we're listening out for the server to fire to this client or to this remote, and it has to be to our client. Um, ugh. All right, let's go into the teleporter itself, script, and we're gonna say game workspace, game replicated storage remotes, teleport SFX fire client, and then we specify the player. So we're gonna say now we already defined that this thing is a player from here. We could say game.players, get player from character, part.parent is not equal to nil. Basically verifying that this is a player by checking if this is a character of a player. So we can use this, and that should give us our player. Now I'm gonna copy this. Now there is a way to fire to all clients, but we don't want everybody to hear the teleport sound if it's just us teleporting. So I should do it. Let's go ahead and close some of these scripts. I don't like it when everything gets very messy, so let's close a couple of these. Alright, let's go ahead and go over here. Now, oh, that's an issue. That's supposed to say something. Uh, what is your problem? I wonder what's going on here. That's a little weird. Um, well, it's not supposed to occlude like that. Alright, supposed to be able to see it through walls. Display when damaged. Display name, display type. Always on? No, it doesn't fix it. That's mildly annoying. I guess I'm gonna have to move that up a little bit just so you can see it. But, alright. It's fine. I'm gonna turn the sound down a little bit so I can hear a little better, but perfect. But I will turn that sound down. It is quite loud on my end. So we're gonna say 0.5. But that is pretty nice. We're gonna move this thing up just a little bit. Boom. We're gonna make it non-collidable. That should hopefully fix this, I'm pretty sure. Same with you. Alright, that should be a much nicer effect. And because we put this in a local script, we could always come back and add more kind of client effects for it later. So, not entirely just tough out of luck for effects. I'm gonna do it again, just because I kind of feel like it. Sorry, I just can't get over that. That's so funny looking. Interesting. Alright. I think that's so far so good. I'm just getting way too carried away for this, sorry. Alright. Let's go back just one more time. Alright, let's see if this works. I don't remember if I tested this. Okay, I did. That's great. Alright, great. Interesting. Alright. Oh, actually, if we get 100 cash real quick, we can buy the statue as well. Shouldn't work right now. Yeah. We probably should give it some kind of sound if you don't have enough to buy a thing. That actually might be a little better. We could turn the local teleport handler into just a general sound handler. Donk. There you go. Statue. Wow. So far, so good. Now, I think we should probably redesign this a little bit. I'm not really sure how to do that yet, though. I'm gonna let that come to me in time. If you couldn't tell, I'm not exactly the greatest modeler when it comes to tycoons, so I apologize. But let's get some more things to buy. That sounds pretty good. Um, Button. What are we gonna make this? Purchase pellet refinery. Something that refines pellets, I suppose. Is that how you spell refinery? It's not real, by the way. You didn't see that. For anybody who's still watching this, I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. My entire server is convinced that there's a channel on my Discord called Furry Staff Roleplay, and nobody else is gonna know what's inside of it except you. So you're gonna see this real quick. Where is it? There it is. This is all that's inside of it. If anybody asks, just call him crazy. Just call him crazy. It's not real. Oh wow, that was so strange, man. I don't know what came over me. It's almost like I was talking about something that just doesn't exist. Anywho, figured I'd let you guys know that. Somebody pointed it out in the comments, and I was really concerned. It's a huge inside joke with the server, and I didn't want anybody taking it out of context. Alright, and maybe some kind of pellet duplicator, I guess. Why not? What else? Oh, we could turn these into some kind of like Pac-Man heads or something. Yeah, later. Oof. Alright. Um, let's say purchase this, and this is gonna be purchase cash collector. Ugh. Alright. Now, how should a refinery work? I'm thinking that we could give it some kind of... I think what we should do is we're going to open object storage, dropper pellet, and then we're going to put a value inside of it, number value. We're going to say pellet value, basically just dictating how much this pellet is worth. So this pellet is worth 5 because it gets turned into 5 doubloons, if that makes any sense. Actually, we're going to make it a multiplier, so we're going to just say 1. So, alright, that should be perfectly fine for now. Let's open the script for this thing. I don't remember where it is. There it is, script. Uh, local pellet value equals part pellet value dot value. For I equals number or pellet value to 1 minus 1 due. So basically for each value, we're going to drop $5, basically. So if the value is 1, it's going to just run through this once. If it's 2, it's going to run through it twice, dropping, $2. If that makes any sense. Leader stats, pellets. We're going to actually set pellets.value to something so I can test this, but right, alright, pellet value, test, we're gonna play here. I gotta buy the tycoon. Oof. Alright, buy the tycoon. We're gonna put our pellets in. And now this one should give us just $1. Some of these, they should just drop 1. Then I'm gonna change the value of it now. I'm gonna change the value to like 3. See, it just pops out 1. Now, I'm not sure which one it is, but I think it's this one. No, I think it's the one before. One of these should start dropping 3. Oh, there it is. So now we're getting 3 each. What was that weird? Oh, I pasted them outside of the tycoon. Silly me. But yeah, now we're getting more bang for our buck, so to speak. Oh, my head. Sorry, I was stretching. Alright. Let's make a little place for money to get collected here. I'm thinking that we make some kind of tray or something. I think for now we could just make it like something basic. It's fine. We'll just name it something like collector group. Let's actually put all of these in the tycoon itself. Same with you. Ugh. Um. Hmm. Ugh. Model. Uh. Cash collector. Oh, I'm stupid. Oh my god. I was duplicating the model and not the actual parts. There we go. We're gonna make this black, I guess. Let's move this up a little further, actually. No, don't do that. That's too far up, I think. Actually, no, it's fine. That looks good enough. We're gonna turn. We gotta make some glass kind of things. Just something transparent. It might be a little too transparent. Wouldn't want kids thinking that it's just an invisible wall or something. There we go. Basically just a box. Now let's make one of those like old school kind of like cash collection places. I always wondered why they had these. Like, what was it supposed to be exactly? Never really made any sense to me, but oh well. uh, collect. Let's turn this into smooth plastic. And then we're also going to actually keep it normal plastic. We're going to turn this non-collidable. Actually, no, let's keep it collidable. Collector bin. And then we're going to group this. Call this head. Let's actually move this. Let's move it here because this is where they're going to be. Humanoid. One of these has like infinite health. I'm going to use that one. No, is it not this one? No, it is this one. Okay. I'm going to quickly change all the humanoids in here because I remember the other ones didn't have infinite health. And if for some reason I have a way to kill things, I don't want to have to replace them later. But I gotta change this. No occlusion. Delete. Paste into. Alright. And we're just gonna replace this one too. 0 cache. No chromer. Alright. That looks pretty good, I'd say. Actually, I don't know if I'm gonna use this dollar model or not. Oh yeah, I'll just keep it there. That looks pretty good. Let's rotate it. Oof. Turn it non-collidable. There we go. This whole thing needs to be non-collidable. There we go. Perfect. Oh man. Alright, let's anchor this whole thing. Purchase. Cash collector. And then we're going to name it, or we're going to make it, how much would you really recommend this? I mean, I'd say 100, it's probably fine. We could always fine tune this later if we really have to. I'm going to make this a darker color, I think. That actually might be a little better. Oh, I don't know. It's just this kind of gray seems a bit odd. Which ones are we missing? There we go. Is that all of them? Indeed it is. Alright. Turn this a little darker. There we go. Perfect. Now let's give this thing a script. Could just reuse this one actually. Script details. Paste this into here. Collector script up parent collector. Collector bin. Park.name is equal to $. Dbounce is equal to false. Now we're gonna make this one have a really small dbounce, just because there's gonna be a lot of money flowing in all that. So, oof. Um. Hmm. Script. Dbounce. We're gonna delete. Don't do that. Nope. Get rid of this. We don't need that. We're basically just gonna say local cache equals 0 for now. Cache plus equals 5, I guess. So basically we're incrementing the cache as if we picked it up, but it's just gonna go into storage. And then we're gonna say collector find first child of class model dot name equals cache dot dot cache. So basically like 0 cache or 5 cache, so on. Now we're gonna say we gotta go get a touch and the touch detector real quick. We're just gonna go steal this one. Why not? Just me stealing things again. Uh, we don't need any of that. Ugh, sorry. Coughing fit. Alright. We don't need con. We can just say collector dot collect dot touched. So when they touch this part named collect, uh, we don't need that. I would like a sound for it. I don't have a sound. Cache. And we want like a cha-ching kind of sound.
Free cat.
Oh, okay.
I don't want a fan, want a fan.
How much you bet I'm gonna get copyrighted for playing that for like a second? Such a long delay. You see that? Like, you press play and it waits like a second before actually doing anything. It's fine. I can cut it out, but oof. All right, get rid of that. We don't need to alternate either. Just get rid of all of this. Um, let's put a sound inside of the collect part. Cha-ching. Is it catching or is it cha-ching? Cha-ching. Yeah, good enough. Where are we? All right, all right. And cache is greater than 0. So that way you can't just do it if it's equal to 0. We're gonna say leader stats dot cache dot value. Increment that as an add the cache value, and then we're gonna set cache to 0. Oof. Let's also put a local collect debounce and collect debounce is equal to false. Collect debounce equals true. And we're going to wait like a second before they're allowed to do it again. 2 seconds. Collector collect dot cha-ching play. But if you remember, there's that delay that so annoying. That's like 0.5, I think. So I'm going to, before we play it, I'm actually going to set the time position of the sound time position, nope, time position. Um, like what, point 0.5 in it? No, point, yeah, point 0.5. Basically, we're just making it faster by point 0.5 seconds, so there's less delay. So instead of starting it here, we're starting it like here. That's a little late. Actually, we can kind of break this down. This is about 3 seconds long, so this is about one third, right? So 1.5 would be like here. That's perfect. Um, that's probably fine. Leader stats. Let's go and give us some cash too. Value equals 100. Just 200, why not? Oof. We're gonna want that. Alright, that sounds great. Um, let's get a pellet dispenser. Dispense. Just let them go to town. Oh, we didn't make it update the, I forgot to make it where it updates the cache thing whenever you would pick it up. So it might read incorrectly when we pick it up, but... Okay, there it goes. Now while we're doing this, let's also, drop her pellet. Let's make the value like 5. See what happens. That sounds pretty funny. Ooh, man. Perfect. I can't tell if it's giving me a little extra than what it's supposed to. 420 plus 95. Let me, calculator. 420 plus 95. That's right. Just making sure. Alright. Successfully turning it from, this into money. So that's pretty good. Looks like we're out of pellets too. Stop time! Before we do anything, I want to do something. I'm going to stop time. Take this pellet. Value 50. Let's see what happens. Oh! Oh, that's funny. I'm surprised it actually held all that. Oh, it looks like it got stuck. Alright. Alright. Well, anywho, I'm gonna cut this part here. So far this has been good. I gotta fix that. That's annoying. But, alright. See you next time.